welcome to Your Day Extra. I'm your host, Alex King, joined by our morning producer, Natalie Cooper.
Hello.
And our assistant news director, Erika.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
You ready for this?
It's Friday.
Yeah,
We're good.
Heck yeah. You know what? We are your Dayton-based podcast breaking down local stories and national headlines. So we are going to dive right in, starting with Erika.
Yeah, so country concert kicked off yesterday in Fort Loramie, which is about an hour north of here. So it's kind of a big deal for people around Dayton. Big deal for country fans all over Ohio, Indiana. But it's a 3-day event, right? Everybody camps out. I mean, I guess you could go for one day, pick your headliner, and then leave.
Skadoodle. Yeah.
But I mean, you have big names coming to a pretty small town, small area. We have Tim McGraw headlined yesterday with John Party, Carly Pierce, Black Hawk. Tonight is Dierks Bentley, which is a big name. If you're not a country fan, these are big names. Brothers Osborne, Jordan Davis, Elle King. And then Saturday, Luke Bryan, who's also the host of American Idol. Jelly Roll, big up-and-coming country star. So we have some big names coming in. But my thing is, I love country music. I know you guys don't as much. Love country music.
I'm not a hater.
Yeah, I know,
Exactly.
I know. But I don't think I could go out and do country.
The
Like,
camping
I've
for
always
3 days.
thought of it. I'm like, that sounds really cool. I'd love to see those acts, but country concert, camping out, I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, especially with the heat that we're experiencing right now.
True.
I don't know, just something like, I'm not trying to be nasty for 3 days straight, sweating in a tent.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. My husband loves camping, and we've been camping together once, and I was so gung-ho about it at first, and then it got so much colder than I thought.
At night.
And I was miserable. We had to go to, like, the nearest Walmart, which was not close, and, like, just get, like, extra clothes because we were just so cold, and we underpacked because we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
Was it a 24-hour Walmart? You could have just hung out there all night.
I
probably was a
thought
good
about
idea.
it. No, I seriously thought about it, but no, I went back to the tent, and I was just so nervous. I don't know, but like, I feel like I would though if it were acts that I was really excited to see. Like for somebody that's super into country music, I bet this is
would
like
be worth
the
it.
time of their
Yeah,
life
that's
right
true.
now.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
I know.
like
Yeah.
you said, like it's kind of cool to have like people that are these big names in like such a small Ohio town.
I
It's
think
cool.
Carly Pierce is from Cincinnati.
Yes, you're right.
Because I know someone
Really?
who knows her, who
Yeah.
grew up with her.
Really?
She's a
Yeah,
Cincinnati
she,
girl.
yeah, she
That's
actually
right.
works at Fox 19 in Cincinnati. Well, her friend worked at Fox 19. She was a producer at Fox 19 in
That's
Cincinnati.
cool.
So, yeah, she always posts pictures with her casually. I'm like, that's cool. You're just no big, famous
No big
country
deal.
star.
No big deal.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, is there a country star that would maybe be here that would make you consider going camping?
Oh, no. Okay, but last time I was on, we talked about concerts in general and how I'm cheap and I don't like paying.
That's fair. Me
So
too.
Fair.
I
feel
don't.
that.
I don't know. I just probably not. But I love they're all great.
Yeah.
Something that I think is cool about this too is that on this list is the USA Karaoke Finals, which
Oh,
like
yeah.
I was reading a little bit about that because I was writing about this for the news the other day, and they had like karaoke competitions like across the country that you could qualify for the karaoke finals, and this is the finals, and whoever wins tonight, will get to play for the Brothers Osborne on the main stage.
Yeah, that's,
that's super
awesome.
cool.
I just think it's, first of all, so cool for people who aren't professional musicians but who have a love
Great
of music.
opportunity to
Yeah.
Get your name
Yeah.
and voice out there for sure.
absolutely.
Even,
love
I mean,
that.
it's one of those things that I feel like if I were in that situation and I had the pipes for it and I won, I would be like, even if it doesn't go anywhere, it would just be an honor to do that.
to just
Yeah.
perform in front of,
I'm so
absolutely.
excited
All
for
these big names.
all of
for
those
sure.
people who can sing.
Yeah, it should. Either way, it should be a good time. I've never
time.
been one who wants to go to music festivals and stay the whole weekend, but I feel like a lot of people who
Yeah.
do it love it.
And they're going to have, I think
Yeah.
they had great weather last night. I know it rained a little earlier in the day, but I think they had great weather, good weather tonight. Hopefully the rain holds off for all of them tomorrow. It stays
Yeah.
dry and
I hope so.
good time.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, speaking of country music, kind
Sort
of
of.
folklore now.
Yes.
I don't know.
Taylor Swift obviously just had 2 concerts in Cincinnati. Huge deal. but making headlines is the blanket Swiftie, which I think is so fun. So our sister station, I think it's so funny when I saw this go viral. It was from our sister station in Cincinnati. They did the interview that ended up getting all this traction. But a Taylor Swift fan who had called off work and told her boss she was sick, allegedly sick, did an interview for our sister station and covered her head with a blanket and put on sunglasses. I'm sure everybody listening has probably seen that by now. And
if you haven't, you should look it up.
People are calling her a legend, saying she's iconic. I've seen shirts, memes. I've even seen other people copycatting her, like online. She said in an interview, a follow-up interview with our sister station, that she would only reveal her secret identity for Taylor Swift, and she's hoping that this will like get her an in to meet her. But she does say some of her coworkers know, and she's just kind of crossing her fingers that her boss doesn't know.
Yeah.
I feel like her boss has to know.
I was gonna say, do you think her boss knows?
I mean, so funny story. I was not at work on Thursday, which is when this all went down, because I had a sick kid at home.
The blanket Swiftie.
Becky texted me, our news director texted me. She goes, yeah, sick. And I'm like, no, I swear it's not me. Like, I really do have a sick kid.
It's so funny because I'm the one who showed her the tweet as soon as Sheila tweeted it. And I was like, Becky, like, this is about to blow up. And she was like, oh, I'm going to text Erika. She called off today.
I did.
Actually,
I was working from home, to clarify.
Yeah, and you did come in that morning.
I did. I grabbed my computer, and then I went and left my poor sick kiddo in the car for 5 seconds while I got my computer and went home. Funny. But yeah, it was not me. But I think, you know what, good for her. I mean, I hope she meets Taylor, or at least has that interaction with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I hope, it's one of those things that you hope, like, the artist sees it, just because it's so, like, I don't know. I was talking to a couple of our people that work at the station, like our production assistant Allie, have gone to the concert, and I was just like, I feel like concerts like this are just such a good community thing. Like, everybody's there for the same reason and for the same goal, and I just feel like it's so, like, pure. People were getting proposed to. People were like,
the energy is just
oh my gosh. Allie, the person she was just talking about, posted a video on her Facebook of her just bawling her eyes out with her mom at the concert. It was so
wholesome,
funny, but precious at the same time.
I saw a lot of those mom-daughter duos going. A lot of my friends have girls who are tweens or early teens, so it was a good bonding experience for all of them. And then, of course, I asked my girls, I'm like, do you know Taylor Swift? They're like, yeah. I'm like, did you want to go to the concert? Because, like, we didn't get tickets. And and they were like, no, not really.
Wow.
But now that it's over and everybody's talking about it,
they're starting to get in on
it. Was the whole Taylor Swift playlist. I heard all of them last night.
And she just released her new album, so
we're in trouble now.
She just really re-released Speak Now, which was originally recorded in 2010, so like 13 years ago.
Yeah.
But, she's been doing that backlog of like re-recording her discography to have more control over it, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, that's great for her.
And she's got so many albums to do.
Too, so.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as our boss, if one of us called out sick and you saw us on TV waiting in line for merch,
would you be proud?
What would your reaction?
I probably would be proud of you, to be honest.
If one of us was the blanket Swiftie, would you? I feel like you would have to have a sense of pride almost, especially if we go viral.
I would,
especially on our sister station.
That's true.
Yes.
So it was one of you. No, I'm just you were both here Thursday. No, I think honestly, like, if you had the time to take. It's your time to take it, right?
Use your sick days.
So true.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think I'd mind. I would have been more hurt that you didn't tell me, like, hey, I'm going to get merch, and
what do you want?
Can you get me something too?
That's funny. I know. I feel like her boss really cannot be mad because she was very creative in this. I feel like her boss has to know, or at least have an inkling.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out eventually. I'm sure this will come to light eventually.
I'm sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, you're going to switch things up. I am going to be talking about social media. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk over the last day and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Twitter, there was some drama with Twitter. And now Zuckerberg has kind of taken full advantage and created a new app called Threads. So, Facebook has tried to compete with Twitter in numerous ways over the years, including copying signature Twitter features such as hashtags and trending topics. So now Facebook's parent company is taking perhaps the biggest swipe at Twitter. Meta on Wednesday launched a new app called Threads, which our lovely station has made us all partake in.
I have it.
Oh, wow.
I know. Even I have it.
Our social media guru, Josh, said, you guys have to create a Threads account. So Nathan and I made one, and our Dayton 24/7 now
Have
has
you
a
explored
Threads
it much?
account. A little bit. It is very similar to Twitter,
Yeah,
honestly.
I was going to say, I don't really.
This completely passed me by until the last 24 hours. Like, I don't know how I had not heard of it
Honestly, same.
or anything. But I sat down with my in-laws last night for dinner, and they were like, so can we follow you on Threads? Like, what's your account? And I was like, on what? And I was like, these people are like in their 50s and 60s. And I was like, how do you know about these social media trends before I do? They're also way better at using TikTok than I am. And I'm like, I'm behind the trend.
I don't use TikTok very often. I posted one video that did really well, and since then I've been MIA.
Really?
Yeah. The one where Elise was very, very pregnant and looked like she was about to pop any second.
I remember that was like when
Yeah.
I first started at the station.
So I know the app has received over, I believe now it's 13 million signups within, just hours of its launch, within 24 hours. It has many similarities to Twitter, from the layout to the product description. So the app's listing describes it as a place where communities can come together to discuss everything from the topics they care about today to what's trending. After downloading the app, users are asked to link up to their Instagram page. So there is some things that they're working on. I know, like, you have it literally has the same username as your Instagram. Yes. You can't delete Threads.
Okay.
You can't delete
delete it. They said
Oh.
not yet, not separately. So they said you can like make your account private and then just delete the app.
Mine is private,
but it won't. Yeah, it won't actually like delete your account on Threads. But they're working on doing that so you can delete it separately.
Well, because there are so many similarities, now Elon Musk is suing or threatening to sue Meta because of the similarities. It's just the battle continues.
Yeah. Twitter used to be like my preferred social media site. Like, I don't really use Facebook that much. I've started using Instagram more because when all of this stuff with Elon Musk first started going down, I was just like, I don't want to be party to the drama. Yeah. I don't care enough. And honestly, I was on Twitter so much, and I'm a comment reader, which means I just was constantly seeing people argue with each other. And I realized I would do that first thing in the morning. I'd open my phones and check my notifications. And then I would like just start the day off in a bad mood. So since I've deleted Twitter, I am so much
You're
happier.
noticing a difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like wake up in a better mood now. And I didn't think it would have that big of an impact on me, because it wasn't like people were saying mean things about me.
Right.
It was just more like seeing that much negativity.
Just an associate. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't miss it. I do think I'm gonna get a Threads account just because, I don't know.
Just to check it out.
It's the thing to do.
Yeah. Just to check it out.
Exactly.
Kind of fill that hole.
Yeah, I have to admit, I was not excited to have to create a new social media account because, if anything, I want to get rid of social media.
Here at the station, I mean, we post to Facebook. That's kind of the way our news is going, is towards digital. So, we bring you broadcasts every day. We bring you podcasts, but we're also really active on social media. So all of our talent, all of our reporters, our anchors, everybody has to have the Facebook and Twitter and Instagram
TikTok and now Threads.
So it's just one more layer of everything. But, so I get it. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like we're always trying to tiptoe around, well, which one do we go to? Like, which one's going to attract more people?
They just skew to
who do we get more followers?
Different demographics too.
Yes.
Like, I know it's stereotypical, but everybody that I know that's like older and in like older generations than I am are all about Facebook. And then
you can look at me when you say
that. I mean, like my dad.
But
my dad
Facebook is my
Facebook.
go-to.
Really?
I do like Insta as well, but like
I just feel like
because
the Instagram,
I think I'm on the border.
Yeah,
my favorite is Instagram. I just love seeing everyone's pictures. I don't know
feel
what
like
it is.
The younger millennials are always on Instagram too.
Yeah,
and then like the Gen Zers are on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm like right on the cusp because I was born in 96.
I'm 95, so I'm right at the end of the millennial.
Geriatric millennial.
Geriatric millennial.
Yes.
I'm a
Because I'm like the
millennial on
oldest
the cusp
millennial.
of Gen Z.
You know, they call that zillennials,
Millennial.
which is
My
claim whichever
husband
one's being
loves
less
to
cringy.
say I'm Gen Z. He's like, you're Gen Z. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Is he
I've
that
looked
much
it
older
up.
than you?
He's not even 2 years older than me.
Oh,
but
okay, yeah.
He likes to act like he's 10
I will
years
say
older
though,
than me.
sometimes the gap feels huge. So when I was a senior, I took 5 years of college, and when I was in my last year, in my last semester, I was in a class with all freshmen because I was
they are
finishing
babies.
I was finishing a gen ed for my minor, and she was playing music one day in class, and I walked up to this girl and I was like, "Hey, I really like that song," because I had heard the song. She goes, "Oh my God, have you seen the TikTok trend? Blah 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 blah." And this was a few years ago, and I was like, "What is TikTok?" And she goes,
Yeah.
"Oh," and kind of looks me up and down and stops. She like
Yeah.
turned off the music and turned her back on me. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, I'm geriatric here. Like I am no
That's
longer
so funny.
welcome."
That's how I feel. I know I just had my 10-year high school reunion was this year.
Oh really?
Mine's
So,
20. Okay, I'm
yeah.
on
Mine's coming up. Mine's coming up next year.
Yeah.
So.
So it's just crazy to me that I'm like I'm on the cusp of,
Yeah.
all right, I'm actually starting to get up there now.
You're a big
Yeah.
grown up now.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm not a
Yeah.
kid anymore, even though I feel like it. But yeah, I know it's interesting because there's obviously been this big feud between Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. They were already talking about doing a cage match.
Yeah.
So
Elon
This is
Musk is
just
so
another thing.
annoying.
Perfect timing.
Sorry.
yeah, are you so you're team Zuckerberg then?
I'm not team either.
Yeah.
They're both
Same.
annoying.
Same. They are both like just
Either
can't.
annoying.
Zuckerberg
Yeah.
is weird, but Elon Musk is just like tone deaf. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He just says the most. Like,
I used to kind of like Musk, but over the years, I feel like he's just gotten worse and worse. And
Yeah.
Now I just can't stand him.
Yeah.
I think he just does things for attention, as you know.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
So interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see how this whole Threads social media turns out. If it lasts or if I don't know if Musk does sue. We'll see what happens.
I feel like that's going to drive people to the platform. Honestly,
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I've seen obviously a lot of people have signed up for Threads already, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
who knows?
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on to our next topic. Take it away, Erika.
All right. I was just reading over my notes because it is a hot topic. See what I did there?
But I
The
love
global temperature. So we've had 4 straight days of the hottest days on record globally. So we don't
That's
feel
crazy.
it really here in the Miami Valley because I feel like we've had a pretty, I don't want to say cold, but it's not been a very normal summer so
Yeah.
far. We haven't had
Yeah.
record heat here. We've had maybe 1 or 2 days that were hot, but other places, especially out west, down south, so hot, triple digits, and it's globally. So the average worldwide temperature on Tuesday was 62.9 degrees Fahrenheit, which obviously is breaking records, but we're just getting hotter and hotter and hotter. So, I mean, and this goes back
Crazy.
to them taking records, keeping records of the temperatures. So we're just getting hot, and it's a big talker.
Global warming, people
Obviously,
like
yes, they're blaming scientists are saying global warming, which we all know that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
The winters are getting
They're-
colder and the summers are getting hotter.
more
Yeah.
extreme. We're seeing more extreme weather, and that was
Yep.
the big thing this morning. Is last night we had tornadoes out west and
Yep.
big damaging tornadoes. I don't know on the EF scale what they measured quite yet, but
The tornadoes have been crazy this
they
year.
have. And the hail. Have you seen the hail
The
pictures?
hail.
Like golf ball,
Yes.
baseball size.
I just
hail?
saw a video of a wedding that I think it was at Lake Tahoe or Lake Como. I don't know. One of the lakes. I think it was Tahoe.
A pretty
pretty
wedding.
nice
no-
Yeah, it was
no
a
matter
really
what,
gorgeous
but-
wedding, but they
yeah.
had like the glass tent and the hail was
Ooh.
just breaking through and it was, people
Really?
were screaming.
That's so
and-
scary. I know that I just got back from vacation. This was my first week back, and on Friday, my husband was flying into Denver, and the plane had to like land in Colorado Springs instead, and they were circling Denver's airport for a long time because there was hail warnings and high winds, and they just could not
no.
get clearance to land. And he ended up landing, I want to say, like 4 hours, like actually getting to his destination, like 4 hours.
Your poor husband.
I know. He's
flight.
been
Going straight from vacation, dealing with that.
dealing with that. I know. I felt so bad for him. And we were on different planes. I was like back in Ohio, he was in Denver, and I was like, are you okay?
Yeah. So the question is, do you guys enjoy this heat?
God,
Or
no.
do you-
I mean, what we've had is fine.
It's not been
we
bad.
go to Savannah.
Oh, here, yeah.
Yeah, here is fine.
It's a little humid, but that's what
Exactly.
we're used to. So.
We go to Savannah in a couple weeks, and I'm like, is it going to be over 100? Because I don't know if I want to go to the beach.
Oh my
It's
God.
gonna be too hot to sit out there.
Exactly.
And,
I was just in Disney. So in the middle
Yeah.
of Florida
Oh,
swampland. And it was hot. It was so hot. And it was so humid. The humidity was so thick. Like it felt like
Yeah.
walking through soup.
You feel like
it
you were
was
suffocating.
horrible. Yeah. Felt like I couldn't breathe properly in some points. And like I'm a trooper. I didn't like stop or anything, but I would get back to the hotel room every night and just like pass out. I was like so
yeah,
grateful
it
for
wears you
air
out.
conditioning.
It's a lot on your body.
Yeah, that's I honestly personally love the heat. I would love to move. I would love to move to Arizona and just be
Oh
in the
my
heat
God.
all day, every
And
day.
That's a dry heat too. So
Yeah,
I feel like
not as suffocating.
I could probably handle that.
Yeah, I don't
but
mind it.
the
I've been
humidity is what gets
craving
me.
pool days, so this has
Pool
been
day,
perfect.
pool day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I need one of those. I don't have a pool though, so
get a little kiddie
Oh,
pool and
oh,
just
oh.
lay.
take up the whole pool.
I don't know why I can see you do it.
I have done it before, Alex. So
It's a spa. You just put a lot of salt
Yes.
in there and
Oh yeah.
when I was pregnant, we had a hot tub and we just made it not hot so I could sit in it and cool off.
That's so
'Cause
funny.
I was pregnant with twins in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
So
That sounds horrible.
yeah.
That's so funny because I just saw a TikTok of a woman who was swimming in the pool and she got a big floaty and then she put 2 other floaties around it so that like in the circle she put her belly and she was
Oh.
laying flat on top of the water with her
That's
belly in the
cute.
water to keep it cool.
cute.
And I just thought that was so funny.
that's super cute. All right, let's move on to our next story.
Okay, kind of a change in topic, but Pat Sajak is retiring from Wheel of Fortune, obviously. And he's been the host for 43 years, but Ryan Seacrest is actually going to take over for him. And people are kind of like they're apprehensive, at least, like to, yeah.
Mixed
'cause,
feelings. Yeah.
I mean, 4 decades of hosting. But Sajak, I do think, is staying on as an executive producer or
that's
like in
cool.
the behind the scenes for a little while this transition happens. But I was also just like, how long has Ryan Seacrest been in the public eye? He started hosting American Idol in 2002.
Yeah.
So
21 years.
Yeah.
literally.
I mean, I
He's
think
grown
he
up on
definitely
TV.
knows.
Yeah,
he
seriously.
definitely knows what he's doing.
sure.
So I mean, I think it's just people are obviously loyal, so that's like I think gonna be
Yeah.
the hard thing for people to get over. But he's retiring, good for him, So they got to pick someone, and
yeah, and Ryan Seacrest too said that when he stepped down from Live with Kelly and Ryan, it was because that was based in New York and he was based in LA, and he was tired of doing the cross country travel all the time to host the show.
Oh,
and
that's
like
awful.
flying and
Yeah.
staying, and now he's like, I have a job where I don't have to do that now.
Yeah.
But he does have some big shoes
I
to
mean,
fill. But I feel
a
like
job, he has
yeah.
like 5 jobs. But
Yeah,
I
that's
yeah,
digress.
no, man of
I
many
will
hats.
always think
Yeah.
of him as American Idol's,
Yeah.
host.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see. I think he'll do a good job. But I understand why
Yeah.
people are hesitant as well. It would have been nice
Yeah.
to get maybe a fresh face in there. But I think it's good that we're having someone experienced taking
Yeah.
over.
But we just saw like obviously tragic Alex Trebek passing away, but we saw, I just feel like people, it wouldn't have mattered who they said. They could have had the perfect candidate right off the bat, and people were waiting with pitchforks.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no, it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's like change has to happen eventually. You know,
It is
Yeah.
not the same Jeopardy.
It's
I don't
not.
know.
No,
It's
I
just
know.
not.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I mean, who knows? Maybe he does it for a year or two and decides it's not for him. It's not.
yeah, maybe.
It's not necessarily permanent, but I think people should at least go into it with an open mind.
Yeah, that's
And
the
do you
thing.
want it to stay the same, or do you want him to bring his own personality to it?
People,
Yeah.
You know what
people
I mean?
love
Exactly.
what they know.
I
People
know.
crave
They
that
hate
familiarity.
change. We all
Yeah.
know that in news. That's the biggest thing.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
taught.
Anytime like somebody leaves the station or something like
Where did this
that, or
person
a new
go?
person gets
Exactly.
hired and is on camera, it's like,
Yeah.
who's this?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like this podcast honestly is like a good testing grounds for people.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like people that you don't normally, like me, I'm always behind the camera,
Same.
and I intend to stay there. But it's kind of like a way to get people's faces out there so that more of like the behind the scenes people, like, you know us, you know what I mean? You like are familiar with who's writing your news.
Exactly.
And who's reading your news and who's, in charge of everything and all of
Yep.
that. You're in charge of everything. You are.
Thanks,
Yes,
Natalie.
you are.
I keep
All
you
right.
guys in line.
You do.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. And speaking of change, we're going to move over to the Federal Aviation Administration has certified for testing a vehicle that a California startup describes as a flying car. The first fully electric vehicle that can both fly and travel on roads to receive U.S. government approval. So it's by Alof Automotive. They said it's a vehicle aircraft dubbed Model A, and it's the first flying vehicle that is drivable on public roads and able to park like a normal car. It also has vertical takeoff and landing capabilities. It apparently will be able to carry 1 or 2 occupants and will have a road range of 200 miles and a flying range of 110 miles.
That's not very far.
Well, okay, so the company expects to sell... No, it's okay. No, the reason I'm saying that is because the company's website said the flying car will be certified as low-speed vehicle, which means it won't be able to go faster than about 25 miles per hour on a paved road.
So not quite the Jetsons.
Oh, so you
yet,
can't take
but
this on the highway.
So they've been developing this since 2015.
Yeah.
progress.
The company expects to sell the vehicle for $300,000 with like the first delivery of vehicles by the end of 2025.
Why are you buying a vehicle that you can literally only drive in a neighborhood? Nowhere else
most
is
of the time,
25 miles.
If you spend $300,000 on a car, it better be a really fast
real like car.
I feel
Maserati.
like 300,000 is actually kind of low for a flying
for
car.
a flying car. I know.
Yeah.
It's the technology.
I'd
And
expect it to be in the millions.
The thing is it's going to develop, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to stay there. We're
Yeah.
going to get to Jetsons eventually, where you
Yes.
just zip, zip.
Yeah.
Yes, I
think
truly
in,
didn't
like-
think I'd be alive for flying cars.
Oh my
so-
God, I know.
Well, isn't this year? Maybe I'm making this up, but isn't this year when the dad on Jetsons was supposed to be born? Like, I feel like
I think we're like near that.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's happening.
yeah. So
I
so
love-
how do we feel about this? Yeah.
I think that in like 50 to 100 years, this is going to be a great stepping stone.
Yeah.
But I think in the meantime, people already don't know how to drive.
Well, and we
We're
haven't even
gonna-
perfected the self-driving
self-driving
cars
Yeah.
yet. So why are you jumping from mediocre
Yeah.
self-driving cars to flying cars?
Yeah. And flying cars that, can't leave your neighborhood yet and they're not really like for the roads yet.
Yeah, it's a
But
little
I
scary.
just foresee like, somebody trying to get around an accident and they're trying to fly and then somebody else cuts them off and like, you know what I mean?
And
Like,
also think about like with
Cars
this,
flying from-
with the
falling from the
flying
sky.
cars,
Yeah.
the accidents are going to be 10 times worse because they're just going to be crashing and
yeah,
Like,
they
yeah,
fall on
into
top
the-
of you. Yeah.
like little meteors.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this
Yeah.
develops over time.
I am optimistic that like for the generation below us, maybe it will be awesome.
Yeah.
But
Oh, and I'm just like, there's so many things that can go wrong with this because
Yeah.
if someone steals one, they can get away from cops by flying. Like, are
Oh my
cops gonna
God.
get flying cars? Like,
flying
I'm just,
cop cars.
I don't
Oh
know.
my God.
You guys, we have drones.
so
We didn't
many-
think drones were going to be like
That's
as big
so
as
true.
they are. So
That's fair.
Drones, honestly, I know I'm like such a boomer in my head, but like drones, honestly, I'm still like, wow.
yeah.
I know.
I know they've been around for
That's
like
true.
years at this point, but I'm
Yep.
like, I can't believe that like we have Amazon drones that just like drop
Just
your
drop your-
packages.
Yeah. It's an I'm interested, but I just feel like it's gonna go horribly wrong,
Yeah, I'm just-
unfortunately.
There needs to be
Yeah.
a lot of oversight.
And like,
So the
Who covers
FAA
this now? Yeah.
approved it. So
Yeah. So yeah.
they better stay on top
where
of
does
that.
Highway
That's all I
Patrol
gotta
come
say.
into
Yeah.
this? Like, if it
So
drives
it
and
does
flies,
still need approval from the National Highway Traffic
Okay.
Safety Administration
Okay.
to go on the roads. But
Yeah.
still, it's just
NHTSA.
like I wonder how they're going to keep everything like.
yeah,
There's not lanes in the sky, so people are just gonna be flying
Yeah.
around. Like I don't know. I'm
What the
curious
heck?
how this is gonna work. But at the end of 2025, so it's gonna be here before we know it.
I'm so scared, but
Yeah.
I do want to see, like, I want other people to buy it and try it so that I can just sit back and be like, interesting.
Yep. All right. Well, it's about that time. Let's get into our love and
it up.
hate of the week.
Okay.
Oh, love of the week. So I was fortunate enough to have a 3-day work week. I took an
Love that for
extended
you.
weekend. So it was nice. It was really, we didn't have any plans. We just kind of enjoyed some festivals, 4th of July festivals
next
going
week.
around. So Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that. Hate, what was my hate? Oh, I had to take my girls to the eye doctor, and I don't know, just insurance. That's my hate. Like, well, what? I'm so glad that I have insurance,
kids and their
but
problems.
there's always so much.
Yeah, and you just had a
expense
sick
that
kid,
surround
so
it.
it's like on top of that, it just
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Every
lot.
time I think I'm like might have a grasp on what it means to be like an adult, I think about like things like insurance paperwork and 401ks.
Oh yeah,
And
I know nothing
have a
about
mental
being
breakdown.
adult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't
Yeah.
compute to me.
It
I
get-
feel
you
that.
get there
Thankfully, my
eventually.
husband does. But
Yeah.
I feel it. All right, your love and hate.
my love is technically from last week, but give me a break. I was off. I was at Disney World for my anniversary, my 2-year anniversary
So
with my husband, and it was
Looks
great.
So fun.
We wore on our actual anniversary day. We were there for a week, but on our actual anniversary, we wore buttons that said it's our 2 years anniversary because the Mickey
Stop.
ears.
I get it.
And we went to the Be Our Guest dinner,
Oh,
which is like
nice.
made to look like
Fancy.
the Beast's castle. And because it was our anniversary, they gave us like a little dessert shaped like Mickey. It was like a vanilla whipped cream mousse kind of thing with a little candle in
Cute.
it, and it was just really cute. It was really fun.
looked
There were
amazing.
9 of us that went on the trip. It was my whole
whole
husband's
fam.
family.
Did you
And
say your nieces went?
my niece? Yeah,
Niece. Did she have fun?
yeah, she
She's
did.
precious.
She's 3, and we did the Bippity Boppity Boutique.
Of course.
So she got to pick out a dress, get her makeup and nails done. She
Aw.
was so shy, and she was like making a face like she didn't love it. But as soon as she was out, she was like, "Dad, look, I'm a princess. I'm Anna." And like wouldn't let people call her Logan. She had to be Princess
Stop.
Anna. And they gave her a little like purse that was shaped like a little present box. So it was just a little cube. And for the rest of the trip, like for the rest of like the 4 days that we were there, she was like, "Where's my box? Where's my box? I have to get my box." And like just carrying it around. She was
Kids.
so precious.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to be a kid again and just be
I
excited about a
know.
box?
When that box was your entire world.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my love of the week. My hate of the week is that as soon as I got back, I was at Kroger trying to buy, and I won't go into
During
details.
the 4th of July madness. Yeah.
I was at Kroger last Saturday, and this dude came up and was just like aggressively
Super
hitting on
creepy.
me and like grabbed my arm, and I was like,
Don't do
"Oh
this,
my
men.
god,
Don't
and
do
my
this.
husband's out of town right now,
That's
and
right.
he was like, "This is literally the only thing I was worried about leaving," and it happened within 48 hours of me.
Yeah, especially at
being
Kroger
gone.
when he can follow you out.
I
That's
Yeah.
just-
know,
That's
and
I'm already
This
paranoid.
dude was
when people
weird.
Don't come up to me.
Maybe go to a different Kroger next
Yeah.
time.
I know, but it's so close to my house. I can see it from my house.
Do you have a fresh time or a fresh market near you?
I'll just start going to Trader Joe's.
Yeah, exactly.
They have better stuff sometimes anyway.
Well, men take notes. Don't do this.
Men take notes. Don't just randomly walk up to ladies at
And
Kroger. I was
touch
just
them, especially.
getting my groceries.
Trying to get
Leave me
you.
Don't
alone.
dare.
Don't touch me.
We got a personal bubble for a reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, and really quickly, my love it was spending time with my family and friends
Aw.
for the 4th. My hate was the fireworks because with the early morning schedule,
Yeah.
I am becoming a fireworks hater, which is very funny because I just like watched the ones at Disney go off and was like, wow, for like
Yeah.
40 minutes.
yeah.
But
they
coming
just,
back-
it's just because they're multiple days in a row. It's just
Yeah.
I mean, it was all weekend.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Exactly.
And
Saturday.
then, I'm just like, I really like the ones that are put on by the city, but I just don't feel like people need to be setting them off at like 1 a.m.
exactly
to annoy their
Because,
neighbors.
Newsflash: not everyone has off.
Yeah. Or works a normal schedule.
Yeah, a
What
normal
time do you have to
schedule.
be in? Like
3.
I should know this,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I come in at 1:30 and I was trying to catch, because sometimes I do 2 naps instead of 1 8-hour sleep. I'll do like 2, like 3 to 4 hour sleeps.
Yep.
yeah.
And I could not sleep for the second one. So I walked in on the 4th with like 3 hours of sleep under my belt. And I was up for like 24 hours that day. And I was like, this is so annoying.
I remember when I did overnights, I would try to stay up, like take a different nap so I could go out and watch fireworks, but
Yeah.
it never
Yeah.
ended well.
Yeah. All right, we're out of time, but let's go through
Oh,
our
gosh.
final thoughts real quick.
Final thoughts. I'm scared of self-driving cars.
Yeah.
And I feel like a
I feel
boomer,
that.
but you know.
Well, I wish I were more outgoing to go to country concert. I hope everybody who does go has a great time, but
Yeah. All right. And my final thought is obviously there's 4th of July celebrations continuing into this week. So just, be considerate of your neighbors, the fur babies in your neighborhood. Just,
Yeah.
you never know what's going on.
Poor
so
puppies.
just keep them in mind as you go out and celebrate more
fun.
this weekend.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, so again, thank you for listening to Your Day Extra. This is a Dayton 24/7 Now podcast. Make sure you like our Your Day social media accounts and subscribe to this podcast. Again, I'm Alex King. This is Natalie and Erika.